Mr. Ronnie Chan, again, please be reminded about the time of speaking. Mr. Chan. Yes, thank you, Chairman. My question is, in 2018, there were 1,384 applications, out of which 27 involved non-compliance, etc. And the percentage was 1.9%. And in 2019, there were only 16 non-compliance, irregularity, or incidents. And the percentage has much dropped. I'd like to ask you about this question. In January, the commissioner was invited to a seminar to answer questions about the positive impact of the ordinance. I'd like to know whether such communication will be regularized. I understand that after that seminar, no other workshops have been organized. And I understand that in the last 2 years, the police have been kept very busy. And I don't know whether this is the reason or is it because the commissioner was busy. That's why the workshop was not repeated. Can the Secretary please help us understand the issue more? Secondly, the Secretary said in the past that we have a lot of instant communication software because now we use social media, and you say the ordinance still intact. But then, as you know, we have IG, Telegram, Facebook, Signal, WhatsApp, and they have more and more functions by the day. I'd like to ask the Secretary, with regard to such ever-changing social media communication software, do you think the ordinance can just remain as it is without any amendments and still you can do covert surveillance and interception of communication? Secretary. Thank you, Chairman. Now I have identified the timer on the screen and I will be reminded of the time. In 2019, in January, the Commissioner held a seminar with LEAs. It was very useful. The Commissioner was able to explain in person and answer questions in person. So it was very useful. Mr. Chan, you are right in saying that it was useful in helping our colleagues understand and grasp the ordinance. We did it in 2018 and also 2019. We'll continue to invite the Commissioner to conduct such seminars if time permits. Plus, apart from that seminar, every LEA takes measures in order to increase training, and also when they have new recruits, there is training, and also there are regular courses and refresher courses, and also briefings are regularly held. And if the Commissioner has made a new opinion, there will also be communication to LEA staff. We will step up our training in this respect. Mr. Chan, you mentioned that the ICSO may not be able to tackle the fast development of technology vis-a-vis communication software in social media. The ICSO is technology neutral. It says very clearly that communication is any communication through electronic media. What is meant by interception? Interception means that in the process of the sending of communication, if our checking is not done by the sender or the recipient, then that is an act of interception. So the ordinance sufficiently covers this scenario regardless of the development of technology. Mr. Ronnie Chan. Chairman, thank you. I support this project. My question is, the department says that it will make the best use of human resources. After the installation of ELSS, it will be able to deploy staff who have been guarding the gates to other posts. But then this installation will take 6 years. And I'm sure you might have the two systems running in parallel for part of that period. I'd like to know when you can deploy people out of their position of prison guards. Secondly, I'd like to look at the tests for internet safety, but I cannot see any money put aside for that. Would that be included in the 6.3 million annual recurrent expenditure, or will you include it in the overall budget in order to take care of internet security tests? Number 3, a minor point. People are wearing masks because we have the pandemic, as you are, Mr. Chairman. What about the facial recognition scheme? Will that be 100% reliable? Well, since I'm sitting here with many other colleagues, I think it's better for me to wear a mask. Assistant Commissioner, thank you for the, actually, Undersecretary. We'd like to thank Mr. Chen for his questions. Now, of course, during the project, we'll be having more manpower, but we have not applied for more manpower from the Security Bureau. Well, first of all, during the project period, the SLPC will operate normally and safely. After the project, there will be manpower which will become excessive because we don't need people to guard the gates, but then they will be deployed for rehabilitation work and also to look after the welfare of PICs. Secondly, about internet security tests. That will be done during installation. We will follow the guidelines of the Privacy Commissioner. We place a lot of store by internet security, and the system will operate independently at the SLPC. It will not be hooked up with the internet, which is outside the internet systems, outside the SLPC. As for facial recognition, the reliability of that system is almost at 97–98%. It is almost the same as fingerprint reading. But whether wearing a mask will affect the functioning of the system, well, we'll have to wait and see. Facial recognition techniques are being improved and refined. Well, we have a dual identity verification arrangement, meaning apart from facial recognition, staff will also to tap their cards. Staff at the control room will do this dual recognition arrangement.